In 2014, a 30-year-old college dropout was worth $4.5 billion. Henry Kissinger sat on her board. A 4-star general vouched for her. The smartest investors in America handed her hundreds of millions. And her technology didn't work. This isn't a story about fraud. It's a story about psychology, about a mask so perfect that everyone chose to believe it. Carl Jung had a name for that mask, and he warned us exactly what happens when someone becomes it. Elizabeth Holmes dropped out of Stanford at 19 with an idea. Hundreds of medical tests from a single drop of blood. She called the company Theranos. But here's what should interest you more than the invention. Watch what she built first. Not the machine, the image. The black turtleneck, borrowed from Steve Jobs. The unblinking stare in every interview. And the voice, that famously deep baritone that former colleagues claimed wasn't her natural voice at all. Every detail was engineered. She wasn't presenting a product. She was presenting an archetype. The lone genius, the visionary, the founder who sees what no one else can. Jung called this the persona, the mask we build to meet the world. Everyone has one. Yours got you through your last job interview. Hers raised $9 billion. Now the uncomfortable question. Kissinger, General James Mattis, George Shultz, Rupert Murdoch, these were not naive people. So why did they fall? Jung's answer? Projection. When we can't verify something directly, the mind fills the gap with what it wants to see. Theranos never showed audited data. The technology was a black box, literally, a machine called the Edison that almost no one was allowed to examine. And that black box became a screen. Investors projected onto it the story they were desperate to believe, the next Jobs, the next Apple, the chance to be early. Here's the dark mechanic. The less evidence she showed, the stronger the projection became. Secrecy didn't create doubt, it created mystique. That's not an accident of the story. That's a law of human psychology, and manipulators use it deliberately. The people in that room weren't evaluating a company. They were looking into a mirror. But Jung's real warning wasn't about the audience. It was about her. He wrote that the greatest danger of the persona is identification. When the mask stops being something you wear and becomes something you are. Jung called the result inflation. The ego swells to fill the archetype, and the person loses contact with reality itself. Look at the timeline through that lens. When the machines failed, Theranos secretly ran tests on commercial analyzers, other companies' equipment, while telling the world the Edison worked. Real patients received unreliable results. When employees raised concerns, they faced lawyers and intimidation. A whistleblower, the grandson of her own board member, was pressured into silence. At every fork, she chose the mask over the truth. Because by then, there may have been no separation left. Admitting the device didn't work wouldn't just kill a company. It would kill the self she had constructed. That's the trap. The persona always demands more. And the shadow, everything denied, everything hidden, doesn't disappear. Jung was clear on this. What you repress doesn't vanish. It waits. In 2015, the shadow arrived. A Wall Street Journal reporter named John Carreyrou started asking the one question projection can't survive. Show me the data. Notice who saw through her. Not the most powerful people, not the richest, the detached ones. Carreyrou had no stake in the fantasy. Medical experts who'd never met her charisma in person. Employees who watched the machines fail with their own eyes. Detachment made them immune, because projection needs your desire to work. It hooks the part of you that wants the story to be true. The moment you need something to be real, a person, an opportunity, an identity, you stop seeing it. You start seeing your projection of it. Every con in history runs on that single vulnerability. By 2018, Theranos was gone. In 2022, a jury convicted Holmes of fraud, 11 years in federal prison. The persona finally cracked, and there was a $9 billion hole behind it. So here's the real case study. Not her. You. Jung's lesson cuts both ways. First, somewhere in your life is a black box you've filled with projection. A person, a mentor, an opportunity you refuse to examine because you need it to be real. Detachment isn't coldness, it's the only clear lens you'll ever get. And second, the harder question, how much of you is persona? Which parts of your identity would you defend even after they stopped being true? Because the woman who fooled everyone started by fooling herself. If you want to think clearer and see through the masks people wear, including your own, subscribe. The next case study goes deeper.